Let's welcome in now Beverly Hallberg, president at District Media Group and IWF Senior Fellow. Great to have you with us, Beverly.
Thank you so much.
All right. So what did you think of AOC trying to make herself the main character in this whole drama?
Well, I think we've seen for a while that she wants to run for president. This is another way that she is showing that she is the true leader of the Democrat Party. I will say I don't think there's any love lost between AOC and Nancy Pelosi. AOC has made Miss Pelosi's life very difficult over the past few years. So I really think that this is just another way to show that AOC is going to throw her hat in the race.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, too, we can, take away from this is how much more skilled Nancy Pelosi was at these types of negotiations when you compare that to the current Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries. He was called out on CNBC after accusations that Democrats are flipping the script and trying to shift blame and rewrite the whole narrative about the shutdown fight. Watch this.
We don't want to shut the government down. That's not our approach. But Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency.
If you shut down the government, last time, Democrats point out, you lose FEMA, you lose troop pay, you lose all these different things that are so important to Democrats when they're on the other side of this. If you're not going to get all these other things settled, you need to do the CR to get the government funded.
I mean, we've all seen this same thing play out before when the roles were reversed, Beverly, and it's like, you wonder how long Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer can keep this up.
Well, they're really playing this messaging versus perception battle. I really think that that's what this comes down to. They're hoping, because traditionally this has been the case in the past, that whoever is occupying the House, the Senate, and the White House in this case, Republicans hold all three, that they're the ones who are going to take the fall for this. But that's not the case for a variety of reasons. One is the fact that this is a clean CR, meaning this is clean funding. This is just continuing what Democrats already voted on in March. So they voted on this in the past. And also historically, when you look at what Democrats have done, they voted for funding bills like this 13 times. So it's very unusual for them to draw the line in the sand on this. And so they think the messaging that they have is that this is Republicans, that it's going to fall on Republicans. But Republicans have been very smart. First of all, the alliteration of the slogan, the Schumer shutdown, yes. I like it. It's catchy. It works. But also you have heard the Speaker of the House, the Vice President, the Senate Majority Leader all say today that what Democrats want to do is increase $1.5 trillion in spending partially to fund health care for illegal immigrants. It's a very powerful message. It's not what Americans want. No. So for the first time, I feel like Republicans are really on the same page on how to message this, and it's going to work for them.
Yeah, and again, there was a lot of skeptics about Mike Johnson's ability to do exactly what you just mentioned, and we've seen this time and time again, shepherding these types of things to the finish line, to get it over the finish line as well. He really does seem to have everyone in lockstep. Now, let's talk about Chuck Schumer. This is what he said after the Senate voted to not continue the resolution and shut the government down. He's trying to claim that it is a lie that they want to fund health care for illegal immigrants.
Make up lies like saying, oh, we're for giving this health care money to undocumented immigrants. They know damn well that the law is that no Medicare, Medicaid, or ACA funds can go to undocumented immigrants. But they're so afraid to debate this issue. They have so many right-wingers in their caucus who don't want to do anything that they come up with these lies to divert attention.
Just classic projection there. And while it's technically true, you can't use Medicare and Medicaid money to pay for the health care for illegal aliens. It's also technically true they can't come across the border without documentation, which they do all the time. And Beverly, you know this. I think a lot of Americans know this. If they've been in an emergency room in any of these parts of the country where you have a high concentration of illegal immigrants, yes, your Medicare and Medicaid money does pay for the health care, the emergency health care of illegal immigrants. There are other community health centers which get grants from the federal government to pay for health care. So no matter what Democrats say, I think Americans are wise to the reality of the situation.
And in addition to that as well, those things you said are true. You also have states that get allocated money for healthcare who have found workarounds to be able to funnel that directly to illegal immigrants. California is a perfect case of that.
Medi-Cal.
So there's a lot of fraud and abuse. And the reason why Democrats are asking for this $1.5 trillion, why this number, why are they saying we're not going to come to the table unless this is addressed, is because this is actually one of the cuts from the One Big Beautiful Bill, where you had Republicans cut out fraud and waste and abuse in all different areas. So Democrats are trying to find a workaround and hold the government hostage by working not just health care funding back in, but also things like climate change policy. So think of your most progressive left-wing policies, including funding NPR. They're trying to work it in this way.
It's just amazing, Beverly, to watch, like Caitlin Collins specifically on last night saying, oh, Mike Johnson, it says right here in the law, you can't do this, like without acknowledging that it also says in the law you can't come to this country illegally. Like the laws don't ever get broken. Democrats are still losing their minds over President Trump's Hakeem Jeffries Mexican sombrero and mustache meme. Take a look at this.
Yesterday, the president posted an offensive deepfake AI video of Leader Jeffries and me, with sombreros, fake music, impersonating my voice through AI, it wasn't me, talking even more lies about health care and immigration.
And then what does that shameful man do? After a meeting where you're supposed to be working out details, where you're supposed to be negotiating a deal, you post something that draws a sombrero and a mustache on the leader.
This is, again, not necessarily condoning this as what a president should be doing, and it's sophomoric, but also very effective for getting the point across, what Republicans want to get the point across, that they are, in fact, advocating for billions of dollars to go to health care for illegal immigrants, while also getting Democrats so worked up and frothy about a stupid meme. This is how Donald Trump wins. They're not defending their position. They're looking ridiculous talking about some meme.
Yeah, and those who support Donald Trump and find him entertaining, and he is a very funny president, love this. Twitter, X was all over this yesterday. And Democrats, of course, are going to attack. It's the people in the middle who probably see this and say, that's a little bit in poor taste. I wouldn't do this. But what Democrats need to do, and they fail to do every time, is be a little self-deprecating about things.
Yeah.
Something that is funny, where there's trolling, mocking involved, and Democrats don't know how to meet it except with outrage. It actually makes it funnier. So they're falling right into the president's trap.
Right. My inbox on social media is full of memes. Did you see this one? Did you see this one? Did you see this one? There's like literally hundreds of these memes now, and that's just what President Trump does. All right. Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, before the shutdown, they sat down with Donald Trump in the Oval Office, and you can see the hats there on the Resolute desk. Another form of trolling from the president. Abby Phillips on CNN asked Jeffries about this moment when the hats appeared.
When he tried to hand you that Trump 2028 hat, what was your reaction?
Well, actually, he did not try to hand Leader Schumer and I the Trump 2028 hat. They just randomly appeared in the middle of the meeting on the desk. It was the strangest thing ever. And I just looked at the hat, looked at J.D. Vance, who was seated to my left, and said, "Don't you got a problem with this?" And he said no comment. And that was the end of it.
So again, obviously a joke from President Trump, and zero ability for Hakeem Jeffries to work past that and actually try to negotiate a deal here.
What I would do if I was coaching, which I wouldn't, I'm a Republican, but coaching both of these Democrats, I would have them make a hat on their own, call it the Trump shutdown. And when you're in the meeting, put the hat on the desk and have somebody take a photo of it, play him at his own game in this situation. But they get so outraged, which then makes the joke even funnier. And of course, this is all on the backdrop of the fact that you do have hundreds of thousands of workers, government workers, that aren't going to work today because of those two men.
Yeah, that's a very important point in this whole discussion. Beverly, great to have you with us today. Thanks for being here. We'll talk soon.